Some voices climbed the charts. Christopher Williams climbed the clouds, then crashed so hard the music world swore it heard an echo. In the summer heat of 1991, you couldn't spin the radio dial without colliding with his velvet tenor. I'm Dreamin' drifted from car stereos, corner boomboxes, and freshly unwrapped cassette singles like perfume on a breeze. Women dubbed him the light-skinned Teddy, promoters called him money and loafers, and tabloids stamped him the next Bobby Brown. 3 years later, those same tabloids wondered where he'd disappeared to and whether he'd ever been built for the long haul at all. Christopher Lawrence Williams entered the world on August 22, 1967 inside Edenwald Projects, a sprawl of red brick towers at the ragged northern edge of the Bronx. His white father never showed. His mother wrestled demons that came powdered, bottled, or in police paperwork. Survival skills arrived early. By 16, Williams and his crew hustled powder on Burnside Avenue, stacking bills while ducking bullets. The street felt eternal until one shot silenced his best friend. Grief burned a pledge into him. Trade the corner for a chorus before the chorus became a eulogy. Harlem's storied high school of music and art polished the raw gift. SUNY Purchase tried to finish the job, but fatherhood arrived first. At 18, he dropped textbooks for Pampers, naming the boy after himself and vowing never to vanish the way his own dad had. Fate wore sneakers and a business card. When A&R hunter Michael Rosenblatt asked if Williams really sounded like Teddy Pendergrass, the teen swaggered out of the office with 48 hours to prove it. A homemade reel materialized, rasp over New Jack drums, and Geffen bit. Los Angeles glittered like Oz, and inside an elevator he bumped into power manager Cassandra Mills. She demanded an impromptu serenade. His falsetto ricocheted off marble and sealed the partnership. Adventures in Paradise dropped in 1989. Talk to Myself cracked R&B's top 5. Promises, Promises chased it, and his cheekbones earned their own fan mail. Every line felt earnest because he'd written the lyrics about rising actress Stacey Dash, the first of several headline relationships that turned as many men jealous as they did women hopeful. Success hit like champagne, sweet, fizzy, gone too quick. Williams admits he sampled every temptation in reach, insisting one woman wasn't enough. That appetite triggered chaos in late '89 when a Beverly Hills hotel clerk dialed police after a woman accused Albie, of assault. Cameras swarmed, but no mugshot appeared for Williams, who had allegedly slipped through an adjoining door pretending to be his chart-topping look-alike. Cassandra Mills burned phone lines until charges vanished. Executives filed a mental note. Williams was converting PR into crisis at warp speed. Trouble couldn't dim talent. New Jack City needed both a killer soundtrack and a suave singer to play Wesley Snipes' doomed lieutenant. Williams delivered both, and I'm Dreamin' rocketed to number 1. One R&B checks fattened. Romance headlines multiplied. Dash gave birth to son Austin. Soon Williams flashed on red carpets with Halle Berry. To fans, he looked bulletproof. But behind the scenes, Geffen merged into MCA, contracts shuffled, and he jumped to Uptown, Andre Harrell's glossy empire of swing beat hits where Sean Puffy Combs plotted destiny in the mailroom. MTV chose Uptown's new star for a coveted Unplugged episode. Williams rehearsed a thunderous cover of Teddy Pendergrass's Come Go With Me, dreaming of mainstream coronation. When the show aired, producers axed the cover for a safer single, slicing his ego in half. The next morning, he stormed Uptown's Manhattan office, shoved past security, and redecorated with flying platinum plaques. Reception desks cracked, gold records shattered, and the label's hallways echoed with obscenities nobody had scripted for prime time. Harrell wasn't present, but the carnage spoke. Talent without temper control is collateral damage waiting to happen. Industry whispers hardened into hard passes, and Williams walked out boasting independence, blind to the ring of scorched bridges behind him. A lifeline appeared in Giant Records, powered by Irving Azoff's deep pockets and Cassandra Mills, now president of Urban Music. The advance dwarfed anything he'd seen, and 1995's Not a Perfect Man wore prophecy in its title. Singles stalled, promotion evaporated in boardroom fog, and Giant quietly released him. That same season, Halle Berry confessed an ex-lover had ruptured her eardrum. She never named him, but gossip blogs pointed straight at Williams. He fired back on radio, accusing Wesley Snipes instead. The public watched 2 black sex symbols lob grenades. Hollywood called neither. Doors that had already been ajar slammed shut. By 1999, the singer slipped south to his adoptive parents' home in Virginia, trading limos for choir pews. Gospel soothed the ego bruises and rebuilt his lungs. He canvassed Bible verses, starred in off-Broadway plays, and toured every theater that paid enough to keep the lights on. When Real Men Do dropped in 2001 on an indie imprint, critics praised the soul jazz risks, but amid Napster chaos, the record sank. He rebounded in 2014, teaming with Wes Morgan and Williams brothers Melvin and Doug in the gospel supergroup 5V Men. Their album Champions blended quartet harmonies with R&B polish and reminded old fans the pipes had never left him. Just when artistry was clawing back, humiliation cracked the headlines. On an October afternoon in 2017, Williams strolled into a Kohl's in McDonough, Georgia, tucked 99 JBL headphones into a tote, and tried walking out. Security blocked the exit, police cuffed him, TMZ published the mugshot with a snide headline about forgetful crooners. He insisted he'd planned to pay, but the internet rarely reverses a punchline. A missed court date months later yielded an arrest warrant that tabloids paraded as proof the man once crowned R&B's smoothest couldn't escape his own rough edges. Power. Then, life threw a darker left hook. Years of untreated hypertension wrecked his kidneys. In summer 2021, he collapsed, slipped into a 6-week coma, and awoke tethered to dialysis machines. Rumors screamed Christopher Williams is brain dead. Representatives denied it. But the truth was scarcely softer. Weight drained to 125 pounds, muscles atrophied, and doctors warned he might never walk again. He called the period "my job season," referencing the biblical figure tested by loss. In 2024, he sat with Houston rap legend Willie D for a 2-hour interview, voice raspy yet certain. He confirmed the organ failure, mocked clickbait headlines, and unspooled war stories about label sabotage, patchwork royalty checks, and how blackballing often wears a corporate smile. Between laughs, he revealed a quiet bombshell. The world believed he'd been single since the 90s, yet his 1995 marriage to attorney Natalie Macklin never dissolved. They lived separate lives but swapped daily prayers, proof that some vows outlast even industry myths. Recovery didn't stop at a microphone. Physical therapy rebuilt gait, naturopathic teas steadied blood pressure, and that honey-glazed tenor inched back into form until he could belt the high note on every little thing you do without grimacing. When promoters heard, nostalgia circuits took notice. Ticketmaster lists sprinkled his name beneath Jodeci and SWV on R&B Forever bills. Yoshi's Oakland sold out in days. Casino lounges from Ontario, California to Atlantic City rang with 30 and up fans screaming lyrics they'd buried under car seat crumbs. On stage, he moves less, lets the band ride the groove, but when the chorus drops, he stares into the spotlight like it owes him back pay. And perhaps it does. Between shows, he mentors indie singers lost in the playlist jungle. His advice is blunt: protect your gift. Pride will rob it quicker than any thief. The line hits harder knowing he once lost nearly everything, including mobility, to that very predator. He volunteers at men's shelters, funding kidney screening pop-ups in underserved Black neighborhoods. Instagram clips catch him leading Sunday praise at Chesapeake's Mount Lebanon Baptist, sweat beading as he hollers, "Grace brought me back, algorithms never could." Christopher Williams' saga remains gloriously untidy. No platinum comeback album, no reality show redemption montage. Instead, he offers a working-class parable about momentum. Talent opens the door, discipline oils the hinges, and humility stops you slamming that door on your own foot. For every viewer nursing a half-finished dream, his downfall warns how unchecked ego can turn a recording booth into a coffin. Yet his survival, both literal and metaphorical, argues that stumbles need not be full stops. Failures become fatal only when you surrender the mic. So if you catch "I'm Dreamin" drifting through a grocery store speaker, remember, it isn't just a nostalgic hook. It's the echo of a hustler who outran bullets, shattered boardroom glass, survived courtroom whispers, beat organ failure, and still finds fresh stage lights when the purse strings say the 90s ended long ago. Maybe that, more than any platinum plaque, is the note that will linger after the last encore fades.